That's it, I think. Yeah. Now strum that. Nice, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Now what you have, now you can't put any fingers down because you don't know what you're doing. Don't play a C chord. Oh, try it. Let's see what it sounds like. Nice. Yeah. Okay. So
None of that worked.
So when you go into an open tuning, none of your familiar patterns and shapes are going. Well, some might work, but they're going to be like in different places. You know. So anyway,
Right.
we gotta. So you gotta remember that we've just completely blown everything you know about chords and everything out of water.
That's good because then you got to remember it. Yeah, and that'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, what we did was we got the 6th string down to D by comparing that.
Right.
Then we use the G string here to get this down, and remember, and so I haven't mine was only in drop D right now. And again, to get into the G tuning, we had to retune 3 strings, the 5th and 6th on the 1st string, down to the note that they're going to be on a G chord, or one of the notes of the G chord. So the E strings are going down to D. Here would be my other D. Still a little sharp. So I'm going to come down way below it, or at least enough below it. Then work it back up. And now it should stay pretty well. Then for the 5th string, I play this G, and I start taking this down. Now it's close, but I want to go further, and then compare it on my way up. Did you hear that right there? It's like, you can see, it's like the light went on, or something.
Yeah.
Or I mean, the bells went on.
Playing, yeah.
Yeah, and so now, I've got the notes of a G chord. And notice when I'm strumming this, I'm hitting the 5th string and not the 6th, because this is where G is.
Okay, that's why you're.
So now we need to think of a G. Yeah. So I could use that as an alternate bass. I could do something like this.
Yeah, it does sound a little bit weird though.
Yeah, it's got that kind of country sound though of going down to the. So D again is what part of the chord?
Let me see what we talked about.
Of the G chord, yeah.
Let me see. 5.
Yeah. Okay. So
I
D.
have to do that.
That's okay. So D is the 5th. No. That I'd rather have you do that every time than just like blast out an answer and say that was the 12th or whatever. You know, it's like
I have to count it.
That's okay. And the more you do that, the quicker you get at it and stuff. So it's way better to go down that path every time. Then like hit yourself in the head for not remembering or something, because then you just start throwing out answers like hoping that one of them sticks.
Well, you know what I find is if I have a pattern and then I don't do it for a while and I forget, I got my pattern.
Yeah.
Then I can go back to my pattern and remember. But if I just have memory, then if that doesn't stay, I don't have a pattern.
So at one point, when we were doing this a lot, and again, you know, having not seen you for a couple months now, when we were doing this a lot, if I said what are the notes in a G chord, you might have just spit out G, B, and D, like you might have had it memorized, you know. But today you had to like sit back for a second and think, oh yeah, chords, 1, 3, and 5. Okay, G, and it's like you know, so you pieced it all back together, which is really neat because you have the foundation to resurrect it when the rote memory was not going to save you here.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
And that's a really important thing in anything you learn, and that's something that you're always really good at, is making sure you understand why something is this, and when you do that, you can always dig it up again. Yeah, so I'm thinking about trying a song that's going to sound like this. Actually, let me play a couple of slack key things for you so you can hear what we're talking about. And the term slack key just comes from loosening the strings. So that's sort of what it means, and it's become a term that refers to something that evolved in Hawaii with guitar players when Mexican cowboys came over in the early 19th century to help them take care of their cattle. Basically, cattle was running wild all over the island, and they didn't know what to do with it, and the king, Kamehameha, knew that there were cowboys here that knew what to do with cattle, and so he brought a few of them over. Well, they also brought guitars, and that's how the Hawaiians started playing guitar.
Wow.
Yeah, but they came up with, they didn't get very formally into how it's normally tuned or anything like that. So they just came up with all kinds of their own tunings that sounded good, and then would just try to play songs that they knew by keeping a steady bass pattern going or something like this, and then playing a melody. So I've changed bass notes now. So this is basically a D chord, because I'm playing D in the bass. Now I'm going back to G.
Is this a 3/4 time, or is it?
Yep. Matter of fact, it's called the Molokai Waltz. Finally changes the chords again to a chord just done with a bar. See, so it's a very simple little melody played with almost nothing but open bass notes.
Right.
And it'd be a great way to, so that's the one I kind of want to start with, just to get you on something
let's
easy
do
and
that,
encouraging.
yeah.
But I'll play a couple of others for you so you can get a little bit more idea of some cool sounds. So here is the tuning. Okay. Open G, and the strings that are different are the first string, the fifth, and the sixth.
Right.
Okay, so the first string's down to D, the fifth is down to G, and the sixth is down to D.
Got it.
The other three are still the same, right? And again, it's called open G because it's to a G chord. Okay, so play this. Perfect. That's the first measure. You got it. Okay, and what that's doing is establishing our 3/4 time.
Okay.
Do that a couple times. Yeah. Now, in this measure, we really just have ties here, letting us know that those 3 high notes are going to ring. And then what do we have here?
You have bum bum bum. Yeah.
So what string would this be?
Is that 3/4? 1, 2, 3. So that would be. Oh wait. So yeah.
Okay, no. So you're reading it upside down.
Am I okay?
Where was this note? Yeah. Yeah. So see, these are the low strings are here,
Yeah.
and the high strings are up here.
Okay. Why am I doing that? I don't know.
That's okay, because we haven't really talked about tablature in a long time. You know.
Yeah. So
Okay.